Shalom, Kahal Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Bahashim Rekal Kodash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of JMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth, and Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the World War III daily update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. All right, so we're just going to get right to it. I'm going to read Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Why did I read that? Second World War is past. The third World War cometh quickly. Let's see how quick. All right. We got the Canadian prepper yesterday, 15 hours ago. Urgent news. No fly zone and WW3. Okay. Pope issues warning, Putin in bunker, question mark. All right. Let's listen to what he's got to say. We'll watch the beginning of about 3 videos and go ahead and cut it short. All right. So here we go.
Holy SHTF. Oh man, if they go through with this, we don't have much time left. Holy SHTF, guys. This is massive. You remember a few months ago when there was all this talk about how, well, if we implement a no-fly zone over Ukraine, NATO that is, likely from Poland, likely using Patriot missile defense systems, the same ones that they're going to be sending.
Okay, so this is about Patriot missiles, right? And what they're about to do with them after a little bit of legislation. Right? They're probably already moving them in.
Defense systems, the same ones that they're going to be sending, apparently, then it would lead to World War III. Why? Because NATO would be forced to shoot down Russian planes, and Russian planes would have nothing to do but respond, or Russian missiles, I should say. And that would lead to an escalatory ladder of events that, of course, ended ultimately at nuclear confrontation. Well, guess what? We got a no-fly zone in Ukraine. Even better, we got a no-fly zone in Ukraine. Not just from Poland, but actually in Ukraine, being commandeered by what likely will be some American troops in a mercenary form, in an inspector, in a training form, in some way, shape, or form. I cannot believe how close we are encroaching towards World War III. Do people realize how huge of a move this is?
Cometh World War III, the third woe, cometh quickly. I can't believe how close we are to World War III. The third woe cometh quickly. All right.
Russians are not stupid. They see the hand being played here. They see that NATO is getting their no-fly zone without having to call it a no-fly zone and without having to immediately invoke Article 5. But the Russians will have to respond in some way, shape, or form above and beyond just increasing the intensity of the conflict in Ukraine. They will have to, because this is major. This means they're going to start shooting down bombers, if they're as capable as they say they are. I guess we'll see. They're going to start shooting down bombers. They're going to start shooting down more fighter jets. And it's going to make the current operations conducted by the Russians very, very difficult, because now they're going to be facing effectively the best defensive systems that NATO has to offer. This is the best NATO has. Some people say it's not as good as the S-400, S-500. Indeed, when you look at the specs, it isn't, but it's still the best that NATO has. And this could be a potential game changer for the conflict in some ways. So this is major. This is huge. This should not be understated, because months ago, Biden said this would lead to World War III. Now, the only people left to sign off on this, and it's looking very likely, all of a sudden, they were talking about sending them to Poland. Poland didn't want them because the thing with Germany, and now they're sending it directly to Ukraine. I was absolutely blown away that they made this decision. The only people yet to sign off are Lloyd Austin and the man himself, Joe Biden.
Good enough. All right. This is the update. All right. Now let's go from there. We'll go to here. Let's go here before we go there. Let's see. Got that. I want to save that for last. So Well, let's do that now. Let's check this out. Russian commander.
All of BXG's best clubs are...
Slovakia. All right. Because they're going to make it appear that this guy is calling for nukes. Right? Let's see. Let's take it back here. Okay. Let's read this real quick. This is CNN. 15 hours ago yesterday, Russian commander appears, see the language? Appears to call for use of nuclear weapons. Why does it say appears? Because they edited this thing. They took a snippet, right? Probably after he said many other things around what the snippet says, right? And it's called propaganda, right? Yes, they're going to use nukes, but not tomorrow. All right, they're going to have to use nukes. Why? Because this thing is escalating. Why? Because Revelation says the third woe, World War III, cometh quickly. There's still a little time left, but it's going to come is the point that I'm making now. Watch how they manipulate this clip. And this is how wars are waged. It's called rumors of war. Okay? Threats, propaganda. This is a straight propaganda piece by CNN on the side of the Ukraine, making it seem like Russia is about to drop nukes, and they are, but not just yet. All right, these things take time. You don't start pressing ICBM buttons, right? You got to slowly get there. Russia has been very patient, right? They haven't just jumped up. And see, they're going to make it seem like this guy is going to say, his words are going to be, well, we're running out of ammo. No, he's saying when they run out of ammo in the larger war. But they're going to cut all of that out and make it seem like he's about to push ICBMs tomorrow. Now watch how they do this. Slovakia. Got to go back.
Out front tonight, we have nukes for that. That is defeating NATO. It is a direct threat from a Russian commander broadcast on Russian state TV. He says Russia cannot win the war. He clearly believes it is fighting without nukes.
We realize that our resources, of course, have their limits. And the next spiral of escalation can only be one, nuclear. And we don't have the resources to defeat the NATO bloc with conventional means, but we have nuclear weapons for that.
Defeating the NATO bloc with nuclear weapons. That commander's cavalier certainty about nuclear weapons is chilling, and it comes as the war is now on the verge of a dangerous new phase. CNN is learning the United States is now finalizing plans to send the most sophisticated air defense systems on the planet to Ukraine. We're talking about the U.S. Patriot missiles that Ukraine, frankly, has been pounding the table asking for since the war began. The system can take down tactical ballistic missiles, cruise-type missiles, aircraft as well. Now, for Russia, Patriot missiles have been positioned as a red line. The former Russian president, Dmitry Medvedev, has warned NATO against providing Ukraine with them, saying that if NATO did that, the Western alliance would immediately become a legitimate target of Russian armed forces. Those are powerful words, and based on Medvedev's words, Putin clearly views this move as an escalation. All of this news coming as air raid sirens blared across all of Ukraine today. That familiar, now haunting sound as Putin ramps up his air assault with crucial help from his close ally Belarus. And tonight, there is word of snap Belarusian military drills along the Ukraine border. The country's defense ministry announcing what it's calling a sudden inspection of combat readiness. Now, military equipment is also on the move in Belarus. And remember, it is a country where Putin pulls the strings. Just 4 days ago, here he is appearing alongside the Belarusian president, Alexander Lukashenko. That is at an economic summit. And now today, the Belarusian military is building 2 river crossings along the Neman and Berezina rivers. Big question is whether this is more saber rattling or actually something more in light of the escalation. It is unclear at this hour. But what is clear is that Putin's military situation as it is growing ever more tenuous. And out front now, Douglas London, former...
Okay, that's as far as we'll go. I don't want the expert. So, if you missed it, what this was, it was a puff piece. First thing they did was they demonized Russia by putting this snippet up and then making it okay for you to move Patriot missiles inside of the Ukraine. All right, let's scare everybody with nukes, and then they won't even see us. Move in Patriot missiles, which is a red line for Russia. Okay, see how they did that? Anyway, go back and watch it. Got one more, and this is old Travis. I'm gonna go to. Where you at, Travis? This one here. And let me see. You might say something at the beginning.
With Upwork, there's highly skilled talent.
And what will be going on here? What will be going on in America while that war is raging over there? Let's see. Okay, so this is the Prepared Homestead with Travis 18 hours ago. Major escalation in a Ukrainian. This could be it. These guys got to get their views up, huh? Okay, so let's listen to the intro, and then I'm going to jump to about 9 minutes in when he actually starts to say something. Okay, let's let him go. Go ahead, Travis, what you got?
Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. In case you hear the pitter-patter on a tin roof,
That's Yukon Cornelius.
as well. I'm in a building with a metal roof, and it is pouring outside. Some of you may enjoy that noise. I mean, there's so many people that love the crunch for my morning walks that I do plan on getting to. I'm hoping like by the end of this month. I mean, I'm feeling pretty deep.
Maybe he ain't saying nothing in the intro.
But I know that it's not completely healed because if I bend or do something a little bit, wrong, I can feel it. And the last time that...
Oh, gosh, come on. Salaki, you got. Let's see.
And that 5 miles 2 times in a row just did me in. And so I'm going to be a little bit more careful this time. We've got some pretty serious stuff going on in the news today in regards to the war front with Ukraine and Russia and really us and NATO. I mean, the stuff that's happening, I can't see that it ending up in any other way that a direct confrontation. I mean, just the other day, the General Secretary of NATO said that he fears that NATO is being drawn into this, that at some point, eventually, that NATO is going to be directly involved in this. And I don't know exactly the reason why he's saying that, other than he was trying to maybe condition people, get them ready because he knew it was going to happen. I said yesterday, and again, I'm not saying that Putin and Russia are the good guys in any way. I don't believe there's a good guy in this situation, but I have been pretty surprised at the restraint used by Russia. I mean, they do have some pretty formidable weapons. I'm not saying that they are the biggest and best military or anything, but they do have some pretty serious weaponry. And it seems to me, in my opinion, I mean, I know they've been bombarding Ukraine, especially their utilities and stuff, but it just feels like that they're kind of holding back a little bit.
Okay, so with that said, let's skip up here. And they're dealing with the Patriot missile. And he's going to go into some, I think, is some information that you need to understand. And they're going to draw some lines because they're talking about putting Patriots and or that Poland is going to position missile systems right outside the west border of Ukraine. Why is that? Does Russia already own Western Ukraine already? So what's really going on over there? Let's watch this.
The argument is back last month at that missile that landed inside of Poland, and come to find out it was supposedly a Ukrainian missile that went off course. Well, Poland is saying, listen, as all these Ukrainians keep flooding into our country, we need a better way to defend ourselves, and so they have. Now, some of the news going around about this, because this is kind of still breaking news, that Germany is sending these over. This is some information here on Twitter that Germany plans to deploy the Patriots on Polish-Ukrainian border in order to create a more protected airspace over western Ukraine, is what's being reported, and some of these sources are out of Europe. I cannot confirm them. The plan is to engage incoming Russian missiles over western Ukraine.
Why? Wouldn't Russia need to be right in this area in western Ukraine already, taking it over? That's the question. He's going to show you that this is the western border. Poland here, Ukraine here. Is Russia already in here? What sense does this make?
If that happens, and let's bring this picture up here. So here's the Polish border, and this over here is Ukraine. So the missile systems would set along here. This is the possible deployment point, and this is possible engagement point. So it's being talked that it's quite possible that these NATO-owned, U.S.-created missile systems that are going to be deployed now along the eastern border of Poland could be shot over into Ukraine to take out any type of Russian missiles that are being deployed over here, even if those missiles have no intention of landing, excuse me, inside of Poland.
Now, how does Russia deploy missiles in Ukraine without already having taken control of this land? Okay? That's putting the cart before the horse. Are you going to come out and say that Russia is already controlling all? I'm sure over here in eastern Ukraine, where the majority of the battle is going on, what's going on here? They already have all of it? That's not being noised abroad, if you will.
Again, this is not confirmed information, but it is what's being talked about. This is very serious stuff, folks. Very, very serious. The level of escalation here is pretty high, and there's been multiple escalations points just in the last few weeks alone.
And there's the point. It's about the escalation. They're getting ready for what is about to happen. Okay? They know that Russia is about to steamroll westward. Okay? Blitzkrieg. Right? They're not even here yet. These guys are like, we need to get our our stuff in place. All right? So listen to a little bit more of this and we'll close it.
This war has been going on for now, like 9 months, 8-9 months, and most people would think, or 10 months, however long it is, most people would think, hey, we're getting close to it kind of wrapping up, right? I mean, isn't that what's going on? Is it should be kind of coming to an end, slowing down? It's wintertime. Well, the winter is actually a benefit for Russia. There's no people on this planet that are probably better capable of fighting wars in very cold climates as Russia. It plays into their advantage. Their equipment moves around better as the ground freezes harder. Their troops are much more capable. I've talked to former Russians troops that are Russians, and I've talked to American troops that's been around Russians and stuff, and they're very capable of fighting wars in the wintertime. So there's no reason to believe whatsoever that we're going to start seeing things slow down just because of the cold weather. or just because it's been going on so long. And in fact, it's like things are starting to escalate even more. I've said all along that one of my opinions of this whole conflict is that United States and NATO was trying to drag it out just long enough so that NATO and the United States could have a chance to get themselves ready. And while I cannot absolutely confirm that, there has been a lot of evidence of that. There's been a lot of troop deployment inside of Poland and Romania. I know that there's been a few people saying, well, these are just rotational deployments. That's true. There have been a lot of, the normal rotational deployments in these areas where we would have troops. But there has been quite a bit of reporting. And in fact, I've spoken to people that are kind of boots on the ground, like soldiers currently in theater.
Okay, I'm going to let a little more play, but I want to say this first. That is the gathering of the troops in this, first of all, in the east, okay, and eventually in the valley of Yehoshaphat, okay? And we're going to read that and then go ahead and close.
That have talked about how the increase of activity is just, it's almost overwhelming. The amount of equipment that's being brought in, and troops and it's not just American troops, but troops from all over Europe. I believe the last report I heard that were about 9 different countries working on the eastern border of Poland.
Okay, we'll end it right there. And we'll just grab this on the way out. Okay, we'll go to Joel. And just, you got to prove all things. Joel 3, here's what's going on. Joel 3 and 9, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Is that not what's going on right now? Let them come up. Okay. God, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, is waking up the mighty men. He's drawing them all out to war. All the armies of the world. Let's get that. Joel 3 and 2. I will gather the armies of the world. He just said 9 countries into the valley of Yehoshaphat. Now that's in this. This is specifically talking about the last battle of Armageddon. Okay, but before that, World War III got to be raging. All right, so what we're watching is the formation of World War III. Right? Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. For what? For this. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, so we'll end it right there. We hope that the elect are edified. With that, we're going to say shalom.